Good morning, Border Crew. Welcome back to our live stream for today. We had a nice move yesterday, especially right after stream, or close to right after stream, I guess. So hopefully y'all caught that. Looks like Spirit Maker's here again, hanging out. Got Terry here. Good morning to y'all. Thanks for coming to the live stream. We headed on to the charts. Check out the move from yesterday. So we were calling here. I don't know why I still have this on here. We were calling for that breakout up through our volume area high and then a continuation up. If you were checking it out, I don't know where my is. Oh, so we were saying that we get that break, that retest here, entry, best possible entry region right there, but somewhere on this candle is good. Get that entry, take it up, and we were calling for that 112,500 area due to this previous resistance here after we were saying that printer here we were gonna get in as it broke above that printer to show us that it would continue upwards, and we got that break there, and then we kind of came down. I would have wanted it to come down maybe a little bit more, get us more of a shoulder, but I guess you could say maybe that was kind of it right there. This whole thing is kind of the right shoulder. We'll see. But yeah, good move. So if you got into it yesterday, good job. There was another. You could have taken a short afterwards if you were a little more advanced of a trade. But if you were into that, you could take it in a trade down, and then we had another trade up at the end of the day. So congrats if you took that. That's what the battle box is for. We're calling that out on the live stream. So yeah, let's see if we can find another one today. So to start off, we'll just head on to ChatGPT and get that battle box started. So I'm gonna close. I'm actually gonna leave that one on there. I'm gonna close that line out, and then I'm just gonna take all my other live stream lines off, and I'll take the trade from yesterday off as well. And we'll head. We're on the 4 hour now, so we'll just head right on to GPT. We got it all set up, ready to go here. So we'll just go ahead and generate that daily market review. Being slow today, we'll have to reload it. There we go. Okay, so it's gonna need all the same stuff that we normally get. 4 hour, 1 hour, 5 minute, or 15 minute and 5 minute. And then we'll need the FRVP levels, and then the 30-minute high and low, and a new screenshot. So we'll just go start with our 4 hour, auto click all of the indicators and the chart as well. So they're all autoed, and we'll just go ahead and screenshot it. And actually, I'm going to turn this line off before I screenshot it. That way it doesn't pick it up for any reason. At that 4 hour, we'll just go ahead and throw that right into the GPT. Then we'll get the 1 hour. $15. and then to the 5-minute last. So we got all of those. And now the next thing that we're going to do is get the FRVP levels. So we'll head to the 1 hour to make it easy. And you could leave it autoed if you want. But I'm going to kind of zoom out a little bit, just like that. And then it's going to be from the cross 1, 2, 3, 4, and then click the over button and click fixed range volume profile. And then we're going to go to 7 o'clock yesterday. So yesterday would be the 27th. We're going to go to 7 to 7 today. Just like that. Spirit Maker saying it looks like we could be on a 4-hour 200 EMA target hunt. Yeah, we could. Kind of see what the chart says about it, but looks like we could. So go to the 24-hour. POCs, turn them back on, and then you're going to drag your volume area high to the red. POC is going to be on yellow or orange, and then the volume area low is going to be on the blue one, and those are pretty tight. So then I'm going to go back to my GPT. I'm going to type in basically I'm just going to type in FRVP levels, and then I'm just going to say like 24-hour. And then I'm going to say V volume area high, POC, and volume area low. And then I'm going to do morning. Same thing, volume area high, POC, and then volume area low. Sweet. And then once I get those on there, I'm just going to go back and I'm going to start off with these 24-hour ones that I already have. So I'm just going to click on them, click settings, and then just grab the coordinates out of here. So Control C, or you can click on it and copy it. And then I'm just going to head back to GPT and paste them in their corresponding areas. So you can kind of see I got my volume area high here, got the level, and then I'll just continue that down. You'll see the volume area low. The next thing that we're going to do, so we got those 3 levels, we'll close those out. That line is. We'll close those out, and then we're going to take our FRVP levels that's right here now. We're going to take that and we're going to drag it from 7 o'clock yesterday to 3 o'clock this morning. And that'll give us the morning levels. So they're actually pretty tight right around this flag that's almost right here. And I'm going to turn those back on. Just pull them a little bit closer because they are pretty far down there. So we'll just drag them, drop them up here. I'm not too worried about how close or accurate they are for this second because I'm going to come back in and redo them. So we got our levels. They're actually pretty exact right now, but we're going to drag this one down, get it a little closer to that red line. Yellow's good, and then we'll drag the blue one down here to, we'll drag our volume area low to the blue line. And now that they're all there, we're just going to go ahead and do the same thing we did with the 24-hour. We're going to click on them, click settings, go to coordinates if you're not already there, and then we'll just Control C or click and copy the level, and we'll just paste it right into its corresponding area on our GPT that we just made. last one, grab it, coordinates, Control C, and back to ChatGPT and drop it. All right, so we got our FRVP levels now. And then the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to do Shift Enter and then go down a couple spaces and type 30-minute candle. And then I'm going to put high and then low. So we're going to just drop the high and the low of the 30-minute candle in here. So head back to our trade view, close out the FRVP level, and I'm going to turn off these lines here. Head to the 30-minute. About that. We're going to head to the 30-minute, and then we're going to grab the high and the low from the 30-minute candle. So we'll just hover over it, and then you're going to go to the high. Up at the top, right under Kubota, it'll say H and then L, and the H is going to be our high and the L is going to be our low. So for the high, we got 113.285. And then we got for the low 112.728. 728. All right, so we got those all typed up in there. And then the last thing we're going to grab is a news screenshot. So I'm going to head, you won't be able to see this, but I'm going to head to cryptocraft.com. And I'm going to go to today, the 28th, and take a screenshot of all of the different news events for today. And then I'm just going to drop it right into our GPT right here. So you can see we got some different news events for today. The impact for one of them is a little above, but that one was at 7:30. So price action should have already played out for that. We shouldn't have to be too worried about that one. And close that out, and we're ready to send it in. So we'll just say send. Check out what the battle box has to say about today. All right, so we got some different time frames here. If you've never seen one of these battle box reports, we got different time frames here. Kind of gives us an assessment of each one. Levels. We got the trades outlook for today. News events. The expected impact is going to be a little bit off, but if you're sitting in this screenshot, you should be able to look at that, see what they're at. We got some executions considerations, so different things to be watching out for as you're trading today. If you got some weekly zones put into there, you'll have this section kind of filled out, and then we'll get some YAML levels, which are just basically just an easy way to copy and paste different levels. All right, so back to the market summary for today. We'll start with the 4-hour. So we'll head back to trade view. US was bullish for the USD market. Yeah, that's probably why I got a little bit of a pump, but spirit maker, but it wasn't very much at one. So we'll head to the 4-hour. We'll start with this one. Price is grinding back into mid 113K after bounce from 112K shell. Yeah. Yeah, Maker is saying the 112,500 was strong resistance yesterday, so today it should be strong support. Yep. So we're looking right here at this. This green line that I just threw back on there, our target essentially for yesterday was pretty strong resistance. We actually hit it almost 3 times, as you can see right here. Well, almost 4 really if you count this one back here. That was a couple days ago, but yesterday alone we almost hit 3 different times on 3 different candles. So pretty strong resistance right there. You can see right here there's also a little bit of resistance there too. And then we broke above it yesterday, so we flipped it. So now this is going to be support for us. So we're looking for that to hold pretty strong on there. So yeah, prices grinding back mid 113k after the bounce from the 112k shelf. Yup. We're already kind of at that 113k shelf, so it's funny it says grinding. We're kind of just going sideways on that 113k shelf. Okay. The battle box also says we're testing the underside of the 200 EMA cluster, red and orange, momentum improving, and MACD histogram flipping green. So we're testing this 50 right now. The moving averages are support and resistance as well. So you'll see, like for example, here we kind of came up, hit it once, and then kind of came up. We broke through it, retested it, and then kind of broke up to the next one. And now we're kind of stalling at this 50. You'll see that a lot of times, like breakdown here, rejection off to 200, come down, kind of sit sideways on the 50 for a minute, break down, retest it, and then break down again. It's just kind of how the moving averages work, because they're essentially just showing you where the support and resistance are. And the other thing that the battle box says is we're still inside the broader HDF down channel. Rejection risk remains near 13.5 to 14k range. Sweet. So those are some levels that to be watching out for. 14k, well, that'd be a big number. So actually, I'm going to put it in. Just throw a line there, and I'll throw a line at 13.5. And we might get rid of these in a little bit, but we'll have those on there for a minute. So we got MACD is curling. You can see we looked like we were going to kind of fade right here on this white candle, but we continued upwards after bouncing on the 221. We got RSI making a nice curve to the upside, and then you got Stoaches kind of topped out right here. Head to the 1 hour. So at the 1 hour, we're kind of sitting right on the 200 level. First thing I see, we got a nice flag forming. Really more of a sideways type flag. That continues. You're looking at 15k, which is probably pretty close. Yeah, not far away from that 200 that Spearmaker said we're pretty much headed for. Spearmaker says, heads up, the weekly support from last week's candle was 112.7k, which is the level we have been testing for the last 4 hours this morning. 12.7k. Yeah, so that's like the bottom of our pattern here. So you kind of been using that as support. Boom, 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 boom. 112.7. It's about right there. So chat or our battle box says we got stronger structure, higher lows, testing the yellow EMAs cluster at 113.2 to 113.4. Right here. Nothing looking to break out there. We got RSI mid-zone consolidation, Stoaches RSI near the top. So you can see at MACD's kind of curling down. We got Stoaches topping out. They looked like they were about to curl over, but now they're kind of going sideways. And then you got RSI in the upper range nearing overbought. Go to the 15-minute. So in the 15, we're seeing that same flag there, a little bit longer because more candles, but we got that post pullback rally stalled at 113K to 113.2K. Sideways compression. Yep. So also weekly volume area high is 115.325. Ooh, nice. 113 or 115.325. That's like, wow. Look at that. That lines up pretty close to our flag we just drew on there. I mean, 113. I mean, yeah, that's crazy. So we'll throw that on there too. Where was I at? 15-minute. Got that loco volume area high retest, showing indecision. Oh, let's turn those on. So we got warning and whatever those are called. 24-hour. I don't know where my last one is. Oh, I didn't turn it on. There we go. We actually just got our breakout right there. See if we hold here, retest the volume area high. And that'd be what we'd be looking for our traded today, I guess. Again, we're not financial advisors. We're just, this is for educational purpose only. We're just here to hang out, watch the markets, and talk about some TA. Last thing that the battle box says about the 15-minute is volume is tapering and compression is setting up. So we'll head to the 5-minute. So we're waiting for that 15-minute close too before we even look at getting into something here, because we'll need that 15-minute close to come back and retest here on the well, I mean, it could retest the volume area high, but it'll probably come down and retest this. It retests in between these two areas somewhere, or possibly even just retest this area. We'll see. We're waiting for that close though, which is in 6 minutes. So we have this candle and then one more on the 5. Anywho, for the 5-minute, we got an aggressive push from the 112 8K range to the 113.2K range. Now consolidating near highs. So the 5 is going to be a little bit lacking in data from what the GPT says, because the screenshot we sent it was probably like right here somewhere. But basically it's saying we're pushing up to that 113.2K range. That's probably, yeah, right there. We got that little pullback and then we took off again. Yep, seeing some green. Yeah, it's looking nice. Looking like we're ready for trade to get ready, come into. Relative volume spikes on the impulse were fading slightly. It looks like the flag continuation attempt, unless broken back to 113K. Yeah, I would agree. So this is that flag. Unless we break down to 13K, so unless we come back to that little bit under that POC, which we kind of came down and retested it before we took off. I don't know. I think it's looking pretty good there. The MACD is showing we have some room to go up. We kind of got that nice pullback, dipped us down a little bit lower, ready to go up some more. RSI is in the upper range, but still has some room to climb before we're totally overbought. And then stoaches are getting near overbought, so that's something to watch out for, I guess. Oh man, looks like we might not get that close above. Next things up, we got our different levels here. You can kind of just see them right there. support resistance. We got resistance at 13.3 to 13.5, so that's kind of the area we marked out. And then we also got support at 112.700 and 112.500. Really more at 112.5, I would say, because that is the area we were talking about yesterday. Hold that 200 EMA and let's go. Yeah, so I think that was a 1 hour, yeah. Yeah, we're looking to hold above that 200 EMA. What we're going at? 5 minute? No. Yeah, that the moving averages are pretty compressed besides the 200 here on the 5, so that's looking pretty nice too. I see a decent uh move up, but we are waiting for that close. We need that close above here. It's like that candle right there just kind of is breaking down right for right now. We'll see if we can get back up there in the next 3 minutes or so. But for right now, not super excited about that right there. Got a trade strategy outlook. So we got a breakout trigger of a 113.3. Actually, you know what? We'll skip that section and we'll come back. We're gonna do the battle plan, and that will kind of cover that whole thing there. Some things to watch out for today. We got session volume is normal. Prefer 50-minute confirmation closes. 5 minutes only valid for micro entries with tight invalidation at shelf levels. Macro wall is not immediate play. Yeah, it says weekly FRVP not uploaded. Morning volume area highs equals battle zones, so expect chop with until volume expansion. Alright, sweet. So let's make that battle pan. Alright, so the primary scenarios. We got a Surveymaker says 1 hour stoaches are going to build on the double hump while we pump. Stoaches. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I'm not too worried about the stoaches on the 1 hour. Too long of a time frame. The RSI though is kind of doing the same thing. So we'll see if that double hump. We need to break that level, which really is this resistance here as well. You could call a slight bearish div here, because you could see, at least on the candle bodies, we got this incline here, and then on, oh my bad. So on the chart, we got this incline here on the different. We broke up and then came down, made a higher high here, kind of come down, and then on the RSI, we're just kind of going flat. That's sure. So what Surveymaker talking about here is the stoaches down here. You can see we kind of came up, made a high, came down, and then really came up to essentially the same area right there and made another high. And typically when you see a pattern like that, I believe it's called the M pattern. When you see an M like that though, with two humps there, we normally dump after it. So normally it's like, oh, double hump then dump, or if it's the opposite way, like you could say like here, and I guess this kind of worked out too. So you see the double hump essentially here. Well, and And see, that's one thing too. Is that's actually worse than I thought because this is the start and then this is the end of our thing. So that'd really be like that. So that is really bearish div right there on the 1 hour. Same with the stoaches here, actually showing some bearish div. Almost worse because this is actually slanted more of down. If you really wanted to get into it, it's more of a down. Down angle. You can see I got my angle things on here, so you can see we got negative 1.7. Not really. I would say it's more flat than down, but still very stiff there on the 1 hour. So that is not looking great. That's not something I would be super excited about. Move those back. Good enough. So we got our different lines there. So yeah, we do have some bearish div on the hour, so that's not looking great. Let's see if we got it on any other time frame though. So we got none on this time. On the this is 30. Let's see if we got any on the actual time frames we normally use. None there. 4 hour? Does 4 hour have it? That'd be kind of sketchy. Zoom in a little bit, check her out. Worried about on the 4 hour. See any? Yeah, I don't see anything crazy. So it's really just that 1 hour that we'd be watching for. But still, that's something to kind of look at. Is that bearish div right there? So something to watch out for today. Could get a false move to the upside. We'll see. 1 hour could take a little bit to play out though, so we could get another. That printer that I was talking about down here, we could see that same pattern almost here. Like, see that spike up, and then we could see another spike, possibly up to here. That'd be a little bit extended, I would say, possibly up to like here somewhere. With the bearish div still happening, and then you could see, and it'd probably be even worse, bearish div. And you see a dropout. And that would show that we're going to reverse and break down again. We'll kind of see. Yeah, we're looking for that 1 hour 200 EMA to break. And then, I mean, this div could be broken. If we get a pump here and we broke up, especially if we broke up to this 115.3K, we break up to there, we could see the RSI curl up and then if we get a higher high here on the RSI, that would kind of negate the whole bearish div, so it wouldn't really matter. But we would need that higher for that to happen. Otherwise, bearish div is in play. So yeah, that's something to watch for, I guess. Bull breakdown. All right, bull breakout. Sorry. So the trigger is 13.335. So basically, yeah, this zone right here that we were talking about earlier. So we're looking for it to break above that volume area high, come down, retest, see if we can get a break up. If we get that breakdown below the POC here, or the volume area high to the POC area, that'd be kind of your let's get out of this trade. It's not really worth keeping. For the breakdown, if we break that 112 700, 112 500 level, so if we kind of come down, especially if we break this level right here, that's probably what I'd be looking for, is that break of this level, because it's such strong support or such strong resistance yesterday, and then now we're looking for it to be support. So if we get a break of that level, retest, that's kind of showing we're going to flip and head on down. And then we'll be looking for the 24-hour to the or the 24-hour volume area high to the 24-hour POC, and then our last target would be the 24-hour VAL. So kind of just like going down through the lines here. If it breaks this and retests, then we're looking for this level, and then if it breaks that, and I guess it possibly retests, but if it breaks this level, we're looking for this POC, and if it breaks the POC, we're looking for the volume area low. Just continue down. As we kind of call it on our, or as the battle box kind of calls it, it's like the enemy fire zones to these zones right here. So saying watch out for volatility. Got some news at 7:30, and then there's another one at 9. Nothing I'd probably be worried about. It's kind of the same thing on the execution rules. It's saying that we expect chalk until it breaks either way. So kind of same for the normal day, I guess. Like we're kind of on the chart, we're kind of just expecting to get chop here until we either break up or end up breaking down past this 112 500 level. So for now, kind of just waiting. If we do end up breaking up, we're looking for it to go up, but you are looking at these levels. So these levels we have marked 13,500, the 1423 are like 1400, I guess, and then the 15,300 level. We're kind of looking at it's the same thing. So like if we break up and retest here, we're looking for this level first, and when we get to that level, we're kind of watching to see if we're actually going to break it or break down here. And then we're just going up. So the next level would be that 14 level. See if we're going to break up, break down. And then we'll go to that 15 level, break up, break down. See what happens. And if you did end up holding it to that 15 level, it'd really be like no matter what, you're getting out like somewhere close to there. Or I would be getting out somewhere close to there at least. Yes, and then the other thing to remember is that Labor Day weekend is this weekend, so there's a U.S. holiday, and typically the U.S. market like stuff typically does affect Bitcoin at least somewhat. So something to just watch for, like if you're thinking about trading. Even through the weekend, it's always a little rough, but Monday is going to be more of a weekend type day too. So it's just something to kind of think about as you're looking to trade in this weekend and then into Monday. And then that also means like Tuesday is going to be more of a Monday type day. So we'll see how price action hits. We could get a nice spike. We'll see. But yeah, and today and tomorrow are kind of the days leading up into that weekend too, so they kind of see how it plays out here. But yeah, be watching for that trade to either break up, break down. And that's really it for the live stream today. We got the recap coming out at 10 o'clock, so if you're interested in kind of seeing where our heads were at yesterday, like maybe why we took that trade that we're talking about earlier today in the live stream, just different things like that, what the battle box had to say about yesterday. Yeah, check that out if you're interested. There's also the I'll post the levels on X, so that way y'all can see the levels from the live stream, so the battle box levels, possible targets that we're looking at, which way we're looking at going. You're welcome to also check out the battle box for yourself. There should be a link in the description if you want to check that out. But yeah, other than that, y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy your Labor Days, and I will see you next Tuesday at 8 a.m. Yeah, Happy trading, y'all. I'll see you next time.